What's up, guys? So, Adam Fletcher, the community manager for Diablo 4, just posted that we're going to be getting a new patch tonight, and he linked the patch notes. So we're going to be going over that. He said that later next week we're going to get another patch as well, and that we'll have the notes for that in a couple of days. So this patch is pretty good. It's directly based off of feedback they've gotten for the seasonal mechanics. They're making the Uber version of the Malphas boss harder. They're raising his level from 85 to 100 and increasing his health, but they're also making his drops a lot better. So they doubled his drop rate for the unique stones, the unique tuning stones, and also gave the chest after the boss a 3% chance to drop one of the unique stones. They also made it so that he'll drop more legendary items and he'll drop 925 items more often as well. They also did the thing that I really hoped they would do, which is huge. They made it so that the pearls of warding are no longer used to fight the Echo of Malphas. Now they added a new currency called Igneous Cores, which are what you use to fight him, and they drop from Vault Heralds and Sons of Malphas. Sons of Malphas are guaranteed to drop them in World Tier 4 as well. So you can either get them by running the vaults, or you can get them by doing the seasonal content in the overworld, which was what I suggested. So that's awesome to see. I'm really glad that they're doing that. I'm sure I wasn't the only one giving that feedback, but I think that's a very good change. They're also improving the crafting for the governing and tuning stones. They're making it so that the cost is only ever 200 instead of scaling up with how many you've cost. So it's only 200 shattered stones and 20 iron chunks for every craft. And they also made it so that you get 2 stones from the cache when you craft them instead of just 1. So you only have to craft half as many, which is great because we were already going to have to craft too many. I think people were saying that they did the math on it. I think Woody Joe did the math on it, and he said that we were going to have to do like 2,000 crafts or something like that. I could be misremembering the number, but it was some insanely high amount that we would have to get. They also made it so that if a governing or tuning stone drops for one that you already have maxed out, you get 150 to 200 shattered stones instead of just nothing, which I think that's good. I mean, that's good. It should have either been you get something for them dropping, or it should be that once they're maxed, they can't drop. Personally, I would prefer it to be that once they're maxed, they can't drop, so that as you get them maxed out, your drop pool gets smaller and smaller until eventually you can only get until eventually you only have a couple left to drop. But maybe they don't want to do that because they don't want the pool to eventually shrink down to just the unique ones, which, fair enough. That is probably why they went with this approach instead. It's just kind of crazy to me that they didn't initially have you get something for dropping one that you already have maxed. Like, that's just silly. One change I actually find kind of surprising is they made the Pearls of Warding now give 10 stacks instead of 3, which seems kind of weird to me. Because between that and also not needing them for the boss anymore, I feel like we're gonna have a major surplus of the pearls, which means we're gonna just always use them like crazy no matter what. Which is gonna feel kind of, why are they even a currency at that point? But maybe the scaling is fine and it won't matter. I'll just have to do some testing to see for that. They also increased the max amount of warding stacks from 300 to 999, which, I mean, I don't even know if people are actually using the max amount of stacks. The vaults aren't, in my opinion, hard enough that you ever need to, but I mean, some people maybe get super stressed out if they don't have like way more than they could ever possibly need. And then they increased the grace period for when you get hit so that it's harder for you to get shotgunned and lose all of your warding stacks in like half a second. So that's also good. They made the drops better from the vaults and from the Heralds of Malphas. They removed the knockback from some of the hazards, which is great because sometimes you would get hit by one trap and then it would knock you back into another one. You'd lose like 2 or 3 warding stacks from one single mistake, which doesn't feel good. And then they shrunk down the hitboxes for a lot of the traps as well, which is good. just making the traps a little more precise, especially the elemental pillars, which I assume are the ones that shoot out the jets of elemental damage and spin in a circle. Those have always been a little finicky trying to like precisely walk around them. So that's good to see as well. I know a lot of people are really frustrated with the traps, so making them a little more forgiving is definitely a good choice. And then they fixed a few bugs, which is always a good thing. You always want to see some bug fixes. So overall, I mean, it's not like a huge patch, but it's definitely an improvement. It's a good thing. I was hoping to see some AI improvements for the Seneschal pet, but there's a good chance that that would take more time to do something like that, which is hopefully what's going to come in the patch next week. It'll suck having to wait that long for it, but if they do a good job with it and make the pet actually work a lot better, then it'll be worth the wait. But let me know what you guys think down below about the new update, and I'm going to jump in and play my druid some more. See you guys in Diablo 4. Peace out.